All right, guys, just give me a minute. We're going to get live here. One moment. Make sure we're live everywhere we need to be. Just checking here. Very good. All right. Welcome to a special Friday episode of Office Hours. Usually we cover a specific topic on commercial real estate. Today we're going to cover something very special to me. It's something I've been working on for a bit, and I thought I'd finally share it with you guys. This is a commercial broker contact management system, a whole done for you in the box contact management system that honestly in commercial real estate we don't really have. And so we're going to kind of go over what we have here. Get myself out of the way. There we go. And I'll share with you kind of what this is. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. But we're going to cover this. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take all of your commercial brokering activity and we're going to put everything that we possibly can on autopilot. For most of us commercial brokers, a lot of what we do every day is a lot of manual stuff. You know, we're taking a spreadsheet for the most part, and we're managing our call list, right? So we're going to take our spreadsheet, which is our database. We're going to pull our call list. We're going to do our call list for the day. We're going to then manually go back and figure out what we did for the day. And we're going to go back and manage the call list. And there's a lot of manual activity that we do as commercial brokers, when what we should be doing is we should be doing money-making activities. We should be doing listing appointments. We should be handling our escrows. We should not be pulling our call list. We should not be managing our database. And so what we've done is we've automated 90% of that. And let me walk you through that. So just to start with, as a commercial broker, our problem is most of the time, a lot of time that doesn't need to be spent is spent on managing our projects, our prospects, and our leads. We're managing everything in our business. We're in it when we should be doing our money-making activities. We should be doing listing appointments. We should be doing prospecting calls. We should be managing our escrows. We should not be managing all the minutia. And a lot of that is minutia, and then it falls into more manual tasks, which is managing that database, updating the notes there, all of that. And so what we've essentially done is automate 90% of that. And so we're going to talk a bit today about how that works and how we can continue on that. What we call it is it's an Osprey commercial relationship management tool. Okay, it's going to revolutionize a lot of what we do in the commercial business. And very basically, it's right there. 90% of your commercial activity is going to be on autopilot. Your prospecting calls, managing your database, nurturing that database, growing that database, and pipeline management. All of that should be on autopilot. And now it can be if you want to. What I would recommend, if this is something of interest to you, you should schedule a discovery call. Commercial brokering in general is very specific per broker. That's one of the reasons this really hasn't existed until now. Your unique business is unique to you. And if you have something specific that you do, it's specific to your business. And so schedule a discovery call, see if this can be tweaked to you. I know it was tweaked for my specific niche, and it probably can be tweaked for yours. But what I would do is I would schedule a call and see if that is possible for you, or if it's reasonable for you as well. Okay, so let's go into exactly what this does for all those different things: prospecting, managing your database, nurturing your database, growing your database, and pipeline management. What does it do? Well, currently, what you probably have is an Excel spreadsheet or some sort of spreadsheet combined with some, um, some folders in your email that kind of organize what you have as a database, right? So as commercial brokers, we can't go door knocking like the residential people can. Our clients are all over the country, so we have to call them. So we have our calling lists that we do every day to grow that database. We then have that database that we maintain notes on. For the most part, that is in uh, a spreadsheet. And so what we've done is we've converted that to a system that is all in one. You can take that existing database, you can import it, especially if it's in a spreadsheet. We can import that into this new database, and then we can adjust it according to your specific business. So depending on exactly what you do, we can adjust the different automations that are involved. We'll go over that. But basically, upload your contacts into the new database, adjust the different contact points, their property, their units, blah, blah, blah. And then adjust how often you want to nurture them, right? How active do you want to be with them? Do you want to be very inactive? Do you want to be really active? You can adjust that. And then, add them into the automations, and you're done. And you can stop spending all your time in your spreadsheets and pulling your call lists and all that. We're done with that. Move them over into the new database, and you're essentially done with that, right? So here's what we'll do. That's that. Let's go into that first point, right? Number one is our prospecting now is on autopilot. We never have to, again, go into our database, find out who we've spoken to in the last, I don't know what your metric is. Mine is 45 to 60 days. We want to contact every one of our prospects, right? Every one of our contacts that owns a property should be contacted by us with some sort of value proposition, right? You never have to pull that list again. The database here, the contact management system, will automatically figure out who you haven't spoken to in whatever period of time you want. And they'll put them on your daily call list. You have a daily call list where all of those people that you need to talk to, that you normally would manually go and pull, that's on your list. Number two, the system will automatically gauge their activity within the system, right? So we're constantly sending emails and texts and follow-ups constantly within this contact management system. And it is maintaining a score for every single contact that you have. So it knows not only if you haven't spoken to them in a certain amount of time, but it also knows if you need to talk to a hot lead that is very active. And it's going to put them on your call list, right? So all of your prospecting for your current database is on autopilot. You never have to pull that list again. You never have to figure out. And honestly, a lot of us as commercial brokers, we have very few systems that we're already a part of. Like I think of Constant Contact comes to mind. MailChimp comes to mind. And we're a part of those, and those do some of this function, right? A lot of systems that we're a part of do some of this function, not everything that's involved in this, but it's not very interactive, right? So MailChimp, Constant Contact's not going to really figure out, hey, so-and-so opened 3 emails, so they've got this score, so we're going to go ahead and add them to your call list because they're very active. You should probably speak to them. This system will absolutely do this. This system will prioritize the leads that are of import to you, whether or not you've spoken to them, right? Very important. Okay. So that's one part, prospecting, autopilot. Number two, how about your database? You have an existing database. What about growing your database? Well, this does that too. We have lead magnets. Lead magnet is something where it is something of value where a contact will give you their information in exchange for that thing of value, right? So that's what's called a lead magnet. So, for instance, we have several interviews and trainings and all kinds of stuff. Tax incentive. Does your property qualify for tax incentives or tax credits? I don't know. Does it? Well, why don't I sign up for this lead magnet? And then they go into your database. We have all of these pre-built for you. There's a whole library of them that will then give you, and you have a unique link that will be sent out to your database. And you can send this to your new database, people you're calling. So you call someone for various reasons, right? We do these cold calls all the time to grow the database. We call them, we say, hey, depending on what you're talking about, like, you know what, I have a great interview on ABC, tax credits, for example. Do you mind if I send that to you? Cool. What's your email? Now you have their information. Now they're in your database. Now the database is going to automatically, and we'll go over this, move them from a new lead all the way to a listing. Okay, the system's going to move them from where they're at all the way into a listing. Okay, I'm taking a sip of coffee here. So that is one level. Now, another level to that is all of the library of lead magnets we have. Number one, if you have something unique that you do, some unique value proposition that you have, we will create a lead magnet with you for your CRM. We'll create all the automations that are associated with that. Each and every lead magnet has its own automations, its own follow-up, its own texts and emails and everything that go along with that lead magnet before they're dropped into a long-term nurture campaign, right? So every new contact you get, the system's going to try and nurture them and get them on a call with you. And that includes anything that you specifically do. So I have a specific thing that I do for my niche in commercial real estate. I've got a unique lead magnet for myself. You can do the same. Okay. Now on another level, this whole system allows you to give all of these lead magnets with your unique link that gives them the contacts to you. It allows you to have referral partners. We call them referral accounts. So you can say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Residential Agent, I know you want to refer stuff to me. Here's a great way to do it. Sign up with your email, agree to the referral agreement, and guess what? All you get is they get a dashboard with all of your links to all of your lead magnets that send all of the leads to you, but it also tags all of those leads to that referral partner. So you know exactly who to give that referral fee to when you close that deal from now to the end of time. And they're giving their contacts very valuable information. Hey, I didn't know about these tax credits that I could get. Thank you for letting me sign up for that, right? But on the back end, we know that, a referral agent gave us that lead, and now we have the listing, and then we closed it, and now we give them a referral fee. Likewise, you can do that with investors, right? So an investor has a multifamily owner who's on the fence or who doesn't know what they want to do. They can sign up as well, and then they get those links. They then refer those clients or those prospects to you. Eventually that goes to a point where that client perhaps wants to list the property. Guess who's getting a call? That investor gets a call immediately from you, and they get the first shot at the offer, right? Very valuable. Everything's feeding into your system. Everything's feeding into your database. You can grow your database on Autopilot. Very cool. Now, in addition to that, and we're just going over the basics here, right? Literally at the end of this, I'll show you everything that this does, which is bonkers. We've built this whole thing for commercial brokers for your specific product type. So whether you're multifamily or retail or industrial or office, etc., we will expand it if needed. We can do so, but all of the automations are in place. So basically, you as a broker, you feed them into the system with your existing database. You feed them into the system with these lead magnets that you and your referral partners funnel new leads in to your database with. And then the system will automatically nurture your entire database one by one, not in mass, right? So what we do as brokers usually is we'll send a blast email out about our new listing. We'll send a blast email out about a closing. We'll send a blast email out about a cool article we read, which is useful. But we're doing that in mass, and we're not doing it in response to what the client is doing. So the system will automatically monitor every single contact you have. It will send out a nurturing sequence that we've already made for you for the entire year, right? We want to stay top of mind. We don't want to be annoying, but we want to stay top of mind. We want to be helpful. And that's what we've done. We've created a helpful, nurturing, ongoing sequence of automated emails, sometimes texts, sometimes you should call the prospect over the course of the entire year. So for every single contact that you have, you are top of mind at all times with your entire database. So think about it. Here's where we're at. Your call list, automated. Your database, growing it, automated. Nurturing that database, automated, done for you. Next, if you want to talk to that database, guess what? Every single thing for that whole database is in one spot. It's in one tab. You see those arrows there? One of those is an email. One of those is a text, okay, for that same contact. So whether it's email or text or a phone call or social media or whatever, everything is in one spot. You don't have to go to your social media and your email and your text and whatever to figure out how your interactions have gone with that specific person. Everything's in one spot. Everything is in one spot for every single contact. So if you want to communicate with them, you can see how things have gone. You can send pre-made text or emails with your specific links to them, or you can respond to them in those different channels. You can respond to them by email or text or whatever, and it's all going to filter back into your CRM. So everything's in one spot. No more spreadsheets. No more going back and forth between all the different communication hubs and emails and texts and like, what did I do? And let me put some notes together. And guess what? Calendars are all integrated here too. So all of your calendar invites, everything's in one spot. Everything you do in commercial real estate is in one spot for you with this system, right? Pipelines, right? So this is all the contact stuff. What about my pipeline? Well, guess what? That's all here too. That's all on autopilot, different stages of your pipeline. Now, this has all been made for you. You can edit it if you want to, but everything's in one spot. If you'd like, you can adjust every single bit of this, but most of it's on autopilot as people move from new lead all the way to listing, to escrow, to closed. All of it is on autopilot. Guess what? When it closes, there's a whole sequence of events that happens there. They're on a long-term nurturing sequence, but they're also on a closed property nurturing sequence. Every time they pass their anniversary for their closed property, guess what? There's stuff that happens You never have to think about it as a commercial broker. It just happens. Now you can adjust that if you want, if you want to adjust the wording of it, but it's already built for you. The anniversary of their closing, say, hey, how are things going? Do you need any more properties? Blah, blah, blah. Guess what? When it closes, congratulations. Email, text, congratulations. Hey, do you know anyone else who needs my services, for example? I'd like to help more people, right? Uh, Trying to get some referrals from the client, close property. Everything in your pipeline is on autopilot. You can monitor it. And guess what? All those referral partners that we talked about, the people who are referring business to you, they can see everyone that they've referred to you in their dashboard. So it gets exciting, right? I've referred, 5, 10, 15 people have gone into that dashboard. They're seeing them along that pipeline. They don't get to do anything with it, obviously, but they can see it. They can see everything that's happening. So they know when they're going from a new lead to a listing, or a booked appointment to a listing to escrow. They know when they closed, right? They know when they should give you a call, say, hey, you owe me a referral agreement, right? All of it on autopilot. Okay. And then obviously notifications across the board, reminders, scheduling, calendar, all of this is included. All of this is part of exactly what we've been putting together here. And basically, I don't want to make it more complicated than it needs to be. This will do literally anything you want it to. This includes roughly $1,000 or more worth of tools that you may or may not be using. You want to make a website, this makes websites. You want to make a sales funnel, this makes sales funnel. This does everything that you've ever wanted to do. As a commercial broker, most of our stuff is very simple. Most of our stuff is pulling our call list, doing the call list, and we manage our listing activity. We send the blast emails out. Assistants help us with a lot of that. This will automate 90% of that. This will allow you and your assistant to do most of that activity very quickly, very efficiently, and never miss a beat, never miss a single contact, never drop the ball with someone you should call, with someone you should be getting a listing appointment with. Never miss it. Okay. So this will do all of that. You may not need it right now. You may need it in the future. At the end of the day, we've automated 90% of what you do on a daily basis as a commercial broker. We never have to pull call lists. We never have to have spreadsheets. We never have to manage or nurture our database ever again. Everything's done for you. All you need to do, pull your call list, grow your database, and then get those listing appointments. That's all you do, right? And the system in the background, again, is gently pushing every single contact you have. It's pushing them toward a discovery call with you. Every single contact individually, not in bulk, not a bulk, text or email goes out. Everything individually, depending on how they act, is moving gently toward a discovery call with you to get that listing appointment. So first thing I would recommend I think that's the end. Yeah. First thing I'd recommend is let's get on a demonstration. If this is of interest to you, there should be a calendar link somewhere. I think, in the description somewhere. Let's get on the discovery call. See how this specifically can help you, because as a commercial broker, all of us have different ways of doing things, different niches, different needs. And the beautiful thing about this is it can be custom tailored to you and exactly what you're doing to grow your business and automate most of what you're doing. So go ahead and get on the discovery call. I'm looking here. I don't see any questions on what we've covered so far. I got 10:23 my time. Let us know if you have any questions. I'm going to get another cup of coffee. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I do not see any questions here. Give it a minute or so. If we see any questions, we will answer them. Again, I know this is a bit unique for Fridays, but I'm super excited about this. I've been working on this on my own to the side, but I thought this would be of benefit to everyone who's associated here. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be right back. All right, not seeing anything. We will see you guys next week. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll see you then.